But yeah, no, bro, it's a mess for me because I'll lay down and like I'm not one of those dudes that like lays down like I'm going to bed. I'm gonna lay down and put a movie on for some reason. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Somewhere.
Or step
And then I
sis.
have to watch the movie. I can't just fall asleep to a movie. I gotta either pause it or just
I have to turn it off. I can't leave it on.
mm,
Yeah. See, that's the
yeah.
problem, isn't it? Okay, we don't need to go down. But see, that's the thing with me. Once I get past like a certain time, now I can't
Mm,
sleep. I get to
yeah.
like past one, it's a wrap. I was up to like 4 a couple days ago. It's like, oh shoot,
I'm the
man,
same way, bro. I'm the
it's not
same
good.
way. Same
Oh
way.
man, well, hey, yo, we're live. We're back. We got Easy over here. Ooh, Easy. I see you with the little heavyweights. Okay, promotion. I see you, Easy. Hey man, I appreciate you joining. I don't even know when the trade deadline is. I think it's early November.
Yeah, like November 5th.
Okay, sounds like November 5th. So, November 5th,
Mm,
something's gonna happen, man. But no, I wanted to go live, just talk about some of these trade ideas. I've done like a couple, like one
yes,
player
November
episodes.
5th.
Yeah, but I haven't. Okay, so I haven't like just discussed things. Plus, I want to hear different names. So bringing
Mm,
you on here, maybe you'll have something different that I can think about. Chat if you guys got something, I want to think about it. So throw names in there that you guys have because over the last few days, I've been just kind of like rolling through different names, and like some of them, I don't know how if you're the same way, but like when I see a name, I'm bad at this. Like I got to make sure I'm like, okay, give him a chance. Like don't just look at the name like, nah, that ain't it. Move on, because then that'll be the guy they move in, and you just like you moved on from them. So I've been trying
yeah.
to give everybody a little bit of a chance. But Easy, let's just start there. Easy, how you doing, man? It's good to have you back on.
So I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be on the stream with one of the goats, one of the pioneers, Detroit Lions YouTube, Dose of Dion, and yeah,
Oh,
I'm
is
just
that
chilling,
later?
man.
Oh,
Huh?
huh?
What's it?
Nothing. Easy. It's good to have you here, man. I like your background, bro. What is that? What do you got going on?
Dan Campbell.
What?
Yeah. Welcome to the Movement Sports
That's fire.
office.
Okay. No, that's fire. That's fire, man. So, okay, real quick, let me just start here. Chat, how y'all doing, man? Throw some names in there. Let's get some discussion going.
Yeah.
Favorite names, Travon Walker. So, I don't know where I saw this today, but I saw this pop up, and I'm on board with it. Like, I don't know why they would do this, but I'm on board with it. Like, if you could go grab Travon
I know
Walker, it'd be
exactly what you're
insane.
about to say. Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't know. I actually don't know what I'm about to say, so you should say it then. But, bro, like, I'm on board with this. It'd be crazy. I'm looking at their defensive linemen. Okay, let me ask you this. So I see that Josh Allen, that name's been brought up a little bit, and I see that I'm like, okay, I get it. I know why he's being brought up, or Hines Allen, but he just got this big extension. Like I don't. It would be a terrible look to give him a 5-year deal and then immediately trade him if he a
That one's
disaster.
not happening. Yeah, that
Can't
one.
happen.
That's one of the ones where you're like, yeah, I want to look into it, but I'm like, there's no way that one's happening. To be honest with
It's just it'd be insane. So then Trayvon Walker,
you,
but
that's
bro,
one
to
thing.
have the 1 and 2 pick, I'm on board with it. I just don't think they do it because again, the look would be awful. Like, hey, yeah, we gave them Trayvon Walker after passing on Aiden Hutchinson because Aiden Hutchinson got hurt, bro. And then don't let him do well here. That's oh my goodness, because they're not gonna get a first round pick. You're not getting that return on investment. He hasn't been that dude.
Dude, he's kind of been doing well there this year too. I mean, obviously, bad team, very bad team. 5 sacks in the season so far, 10 sacks last year. This is the type of project you brought Terrell Williams in for. If Terrell Williams get his hands on Trayvon Walker, I have the utmost confidence in that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then come next year, Aiden Hutch just happens to make his return. That is, I think that has so much potential. And I don't know if you listened to like any of the Dan Campbell interviews this week, but in one of them, the tail end they asked like, "What kind of guy are you looking for?" And he kind of said a guy that can transition from pass rush and maybe even drop back into a little bit of coverage. Trayvon Walker possesses that type of athleticism. That was like the hype around him. So like him
Right.
and Hutch next year would be crazy. And I think Terrell Williams could cook up with Trayvon Walker. And I think he fits I think Dan Campbell, the boys, they like thicker guys that can set the edge, not just a speed rush guy. Otherwise, we see James Houston out there. He get a lot more look and a lot more love. And that's just not the case. Josh Pascal, thicker guy they drafted. John Kaminsky, bigger dude. Like, they just like those bigger, thicker guys. They just do. And I think Trevor
Okay.
Walker has that build along with tons of athleticism. I think it'd be an A+ trade. If it's for the ESPN one, did you see the ESPN one they suggested?
No, I didn't see
Dude,
it.
it was two
Lay
fourth
it out.
round picks
Oh, yeah, I do that.
in a heartbeat. I
There we
would
go.
do that so quick. There's not even a come on.
Yeah, yeah,
You would
yeah.
think you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're making that happen. Because, like, at very least, I'm getting a dog against the run, bro. Like, and that's where it
Hmm.
starts. You know, but
Exactly.
it's your point. Like, he's unique, man, because he's not like the what is he right now? It's like, bro, what is he going to become though with Hutchinson? Because
Hmm.
that team is a disaster. The Jacksonville's terrible. I didn't know they were that bad until watching them against Chicago. I'm like, oh, they're awful.
Doug
They're actually
Peterson.
awful across the board.
Yeah,
And the
he's.
thing that's weird about that, sorry, I cut you off. The thing that's weird about them is Armstead, who they signed this offseason, has been getting blasted over there. Like, yo, does not look like the dude that we signed, and they gave him like $45 million. So then you throw that in the mix too. It's like they're kind of stuck with Armstead. Because I was thinking about Armstead, I'm like, well, would they move off? And you know, like I think financially you could kind of make it work. I don't think we'd be after him, but it's just like I was thinking about that name because I remember I think during the offseason when there like a rumor that was put out there that the Lions had interest in Armstead. So I'm like, well, maybe Armstead would be like kind of like a interesting name, but yeah, like Travon Walker maybe could become possible then if they ever feel like they're kind of locked into Armstead because they're definitely locked into Josh. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, they've made financial commitments to those other two to where like Trayvon, oddly enough, feels like the most realistic one, and
That would be crazy.
I'd be elated. Bro. I would be
Oh my
elated, and you
god,
gotta like I don't know, uh,
that would be
and they're
insane.
making a trade, dude. They're making it. They don't like no
Oh,
doubt
the
about it.
Lions.
I don't. Yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell you to be a tier one guy or tier two guy, but they're 110% making a trade. They lost Kaminsky. They lost Hutch. That told you it makes me sad. And we talked about that earlier. They
Yep.
lost
Petco.
Marcus Davenport, and like just the scheme they play alone, just as much man coverage as they play, that requires a little bit of pass rush. You can't put those guys out there on an island, expect them to survive out there if there's no one getting to the quarterback. So like they're going to make a trade, and dude, this is a Super Bowl window. This is it. Like this is. I can't promise Ben Johnson. I've been saying that for 3 years, and this guy keeps staying. So maybe he does stay, but like
Yeah, facts.
can't promise Ben Johnson. We just lost another pro personnel person to the Commanders. Mike Disner's getting taking interviews every single year to be a president or GM. Like we're getting poached. Like we've been that good as an organization that guys that help make what this is, they're getting poached, and we might not have this next year. So go all in this year. That's my. I've been saying that forever though.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think they're absolutely going to make something happen. And no, he doesn't play defensive tackle. He plays defensive end. But like he'd play defensive end for us. But
But he
to what
can if
you
you
said,
want to. That's the thing.
I mean, it'd be
He
weird, but you could. Hey, you know, a third down we could do it. A third
might a
down
little three tech.
because. But that's the thing though, like, because I'm like when you look at last week, it's like okay, you got like you have solid pieces, but you're really missing something big time here. So back to what you said, because you know Pascal and Levi, they're fine, but they're not. They're also not because now they don't have Hutch. There's no like good counter to them. There's no like good opposite. Like oh, the other guy's gonna kind of get spilled. Like you don't have the other piece. You kind of just you just have people that push the pocket, and they're not great at doing that. They're not great pass rushers. But the way you said, like looking for a guy that can drop in coverage and stuff. Like I was thinking about this. Like could they be looking for more of like the guy that can kind of fill into potentially like that Derek Barnes role and try to kind of do two things at once with this
Mhm.
because that would make if you're gonna make a legitimate trade and you don't want to mortgage the future like getting a guy that can actually play kind of both roles would help because they can still rush the passer from that position. So do you have anybody in mind that you think would fill maybe like that outside of Trayvon Walker?
I
Because I
got
got a lot of guys we can go through, but I was just
yeah. I mean, because I know we've been had a little bit of a conversation after the Derek Barnes injury, you and I. But I
yep
heard there's like some legitimate interest in Ojulari. Yeah, I hope I
yep
said
I
that
saw
right.
that yep.
There's tons of Sam guys actually. It sounds like that are just kind of like may or may not be available. To be honest with you, Haason
So I
Reddick
heard oh boy
might be a Sam guy.
yeah
That might,
no
it
he would
sounds like
be
they already may have had a conversation about.
what that contract would look like. That's what it is when I hear that. Like,
Yeah.
what do we got to pay him? Because it's like that's the only question there. Because the interview that I heard, like, oh, he doesn't need to be the highest paid, but like he's gonna get paid a lot of money. So
Mhm.
you're really investing in that guy. I don't think it'll happen, but maybe the number is lower than what I'm expecting, and then they do something like that. I saw someone in the chat say Harold Landry. So my
I got to
thoughts
do
were,
homework.
you got one?
No, I got to do homework on that guy. I haven't.
Oh, okay. So here's the one thing. So this is according to Over the Cap. The one thing that stood, and that, maybe you change this up financially, like when you get him, that'd be the way you'd have to do this, I think, because if you look at Landry's this dude got paid. I didn't know he got paid this much this offseason. Harold Landry got a huge contract extension. He kind of just plays defensive end, but he would fit into like that Barnes, because he's like the Barnes body type, but he's just a really good pass rusher. So he'd be like a really nice fit, I think, on paper. But the issue is 2025. For Tennessee, he's on the books for $24 million for that season. For us, acquiring him would be 17.5. 2026 would be 17.5. And I don't think it's like that. Like, I feel like if I'm spending $17.5 million per season and they said they didn't want to mortgage the future, I don't think I'd go after that piece for that position. Like, I just don't think that would be the move I make, because once I get a guy that has those deals on his contract and then I'm kind of stuck with it, like, I'm really invested in this dude. I'd rather just not do that. Or if I was going to do that, I have to feel like he's a big-time pass. I don't want, like, a tweener. So that's why I'm kind of off of Harold Landry, just for that. Not because he's not good, but just because, to me, the money doesn't really make any sense. But the next guy is the guy that plays opposite.
Goodness, he got paid.
He got paid, bro. See, now I get it. I get the connections there. He just got paid too much. But the other guy I think is interesting, Arden Key. I haven't heard that name come up. But I think Arden Key's interesting, opposite.
I remember him from a while back.
Have you thought about him at all?
Him coming here. Yeah, did he take a visit here before he signed with the 49ers?
Ooh, I think you're right. I forgot about that. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I got some clips too. Easy. I'm gonna let them roll while we talk about them for a second.
Oh, let's go.
These clips are trash. I also got clips on another guy that I don't know. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, hey, I got your thing pulled up. So if y'all want to talk about like a specific player and just have stuff rolling in the background, I can do it. But yeah, no, I want to like spotlight Arden Key real quick, because I've done a video on Josh Uche. We talked about that for a second. We talked about Josh Uche, and that's one that I like because I think he could play that Barnes kind of role. I think he's good enough against the run. Maybe the Lions don't feel like that. I thought he was. So I think he's interesting. And then I did Za'Darius Smith. I think Za'Darius Smith to me is like the ideal fit, just because where his contract's at, and I think he's also like clearly a step up. It's not like I'm taking a risk. Like, I don't know if he hits there. I feel like you said, we're in a spot right now where it's like kind of the window. If you're going to mortgage a little bit of the future, get a guy that you know is going to be that dude. Don't go get a guy that's like, he could be that guy, and then it's not, because then all of a sudden you're starting Isaiah, and it's like we didn't really do anything with this trade. So I'd rather get someone that I kind of know what I'm going to get, and I think Za'Darius is that. Have you thought about either of those two? And then I'll show some clips here.
Yeah, for me, 32 years old. The numbers haven't been great as of late, and I mean this year he's on a limited role. I can be misinformed because I haven't watched Za'Darius Smith tape this year at all. But I've always felt like he was more of like a Robin to a Batman. I think that one would have made more sense with Hutch still here. But if you go and acquire him, I think there's going to have to be a second trade tailing that one for it to pan out the way I guess we would want it to be. I don't know if he's what he used to be. Last year he played all 16 games, only had like 5.5 sacks.
He's not a big sack guy. He's a pressure guy, yeah.
Yeah, he had 20 QB hits.
Hey, he had 60 pressures 2 years ago.
60?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'd have to watch the homework. I'd have to do the homework on that one. But that one makes sense, and you would have to give up like a ton for it. And I feel like you could have a follow-up move behind that and have like an actual like tandem, you know?
Okay. Hey, he's going all in. No, but I think that point's perfect though. Because I think that's exactly what he is. So to that point, then I guess I know where you stand on it. Like I was thinking about that the same way. Like Za'Darius is not going to replace Hutchinson. There's no chance. But he feels like more of like he's not the exact same as like Davenport, but he kind of feels like if you were just like to go make a trade for a Davenport type of player, it's like Za'Darius Smith is kind of that guy. And the thing with Smith is at least he's been very reliable. Like he's on the field a lot. I think 4 of the last 5 years they said he's played 16 games, started 16 games, so he's usually healthy. So I feel like I'm getting like if we had our injuries we had now, but you could tell me like, okay, Lions are going to get Marcus Davenport back for the rest of the season starting like tomorrow, and he's healthy, I would be like, hey, what draft pick would I give it for that? Like if that was what I was presented with, that's kind of how I look at the Za'Darius thing. It's like I think I'd give up a draft pick for that if you told me I'd have Davenport for the rest of the year, even without Hutch. Like I'm missing that, but at least I have a consistent presence. Like he's not him, and he still kind of fits into the same style that we already have, but at least it's consistent. I think with Za'Darius, at least I get something consistent on the edge while you try out Ukwu and you try out Houston, because then at least Houston could potentially take off this season still. But I think you said 2 trades then if you do that. So wait, so are you on the spot where it's like if you make a trade, you have to get that dude, or just basically don't make a trade, or you have to make 2 trades?
We were that last. So
yeah, that was a terrible question. I was hoping you made sense of that, but
I
I
get what
said
you're
it.
saying.
I'm
All right, so
just gonna leave it out
this
there.
is how I look at it. I think it's tough because, like, I still feel like you'll be able to generate some pressure through Aleem. I still think he could be that. I just want
Yeah,
somebody who's going to be able to be on the outside when he flushes those quarterbacks out. So I think Za'Darius would be sufficient enough. I just always felt like he was a Robin though to a Batman. He was always part of a tandem. He was never
yeah.
just tearing it up by himself. So I think with a move like that, yeah, I do think there'd be a corresponding move because you're also not investing too much to make that move. Like he's 32 years
Right.
old. I think that's what, like, I don't know, dude, like a fifth round pick. Is that
Dude,
unrealistic? Like,
no, he went. See, that's the thing too. He went for like a day 3 pick swap a couple years ago when he got traded to Cleveland. He went
yeah,
for like a fourth and fifth to like a sixth and seventh or something in return. Like it was a complete pick swap. So it's like, yeah,
right.
it wouldn't take much at all. And
So
he's under contract for 2 years, reasonable price.
you would still have the capital to go then get your Batman to pair that with, or at least another Robin. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But watch this, right? If he's healthy and even if he's older, but he has 2 years under his deal, I don't like this because I thought Davenport was going to get re-signed, but at this point, there's nothing you can do. He's not healthy. But if you had a guy like Smith and he ends up being like real solid as kind of that, because you're right, like he was the number 2 to Danielle Hunter, so it's just what Davenport was. I mean, it's just like what Davenport was with Danielle Hunter when they tried to pick him up in Minnesota. So he was the number 2 with Miles. But if he plays well enough, then you don't really have to worry about the Davenport situation making a decision based on not seeing him. You would just have that guy in place that's kind of the vet with Hutchinson coming back next season. So you would already have one of your only holes really on the roster figured out for next year potentially. That's
yeah,
why I think it's interesting for like a day 3 pick.
yeah, absolutely. I'm not opposed to that one at all. And you're right. You may not even have to do anything. You just be wishful for next year. I just don't want to be wishful for next year. I want to cash in now.
No, I'm with it. Okay, so wait, hold on. So my man said Tryon. I'm on board with Tryon. I like him too. I don't think Tampa will move him. Tampa's too good, and I think he's legit. But so do you think like there's a possibility that they go make the big move, and what would that big move be then? Like the Miles, like do you think something like that is even on the table, or would you do that? I guess is that's
Everything,
the question.
everything that I say is gonna be like highly speculative. I'm not gonna lie, but
It's all
like
good. We don't know.
I feel like I've been kind of like straight at like
It's
combing through the weeds and some of these things. Like I think we did very well in free agency this year. You yourself included, along with Spinney and I. And I think in the draft we kind of called out that hey they're going to move up and grab a defensive guy. They did do that. Maybe not as high as some of us thought it was going to be, but they still they grabbed a defensive guy. They moved up to do it.
right.
I have Jane Campbell said. Did you listen to his presser today?
Maybe I listened to a presser. I don't know if it was today or Monday. I listened to a presser.
I'll see if I
Maybe.
can add one or send one. But there's a point in there where he was like, well, first and foremost, he said nothing's off the table. Like they are shopping, nothing's off the table. They're listing out for everything. I think that qualifies yourself for that, tier one guy. Then the other part too is he said there was a conversation being had, but then they said they're given like 24 hours to make the decision on it. And in my mind, and I could be wrong again, this is highly speculative, but obviously I think the obvious one there is probably Haason Reddick.
Yeah.
But another
Yeah.
one that crossed my mind, and maybe it was wishful thinking, and this is the highly speculative, but like I don't even want to say it because
Well, hold up,
it's
hold up,
almost
real quick.
embarrassing crazy.
Real quick,
What?
just to add to that point, because did you see? I saw the interview when they had Rosenhaus on they had him on like Fox or something, and
Okay.
he said in that interview that I think I wrote it down somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find it. But he basically said in that interview a couple days ago, like within 48 hours, he expects something to be done, whether
So
that
that
was
was
there or
probably that
somewhere
then.
else. So it would tie into he's probably talking about Reddick.
Okay. So I want to disqualify my other thought then, to be honest with you.
What was
It
your
was
other thought?
Miles
Now I want to
Garrett.
hear.
It was Miles
Oh,
Garrett.
okay. So it's about okay.
Just because
Hey,
Dan Campbell made that request sound sketchy. He was like, something must be wrong. They're like asking for that to be the case, right? And so, like, I know this year, Miles Garrett, reigned Defensive Player of the Year, but he's got these weird foot issues going on this year, and it's already been out there. He's going to have the surgery following the season, and so I wonder if he gave 24 hours on something like that, that'd be sketchy. But I think with your information, that conversation was 100% about Haason Reddick.
see it, yeah, because I remember hearing that. I was like, that sounds weird. He basically the only thing he emphasized like he's gonna play somewhere this year, and he's like, we want to do it with the Jets or whatever. Like you want to get that done, but he's gonna play somewhere this year. So I think that that's probably to Haason Reddick. Plus, we already heard the rumor that they've reached out. I don't know if it's rumor or report, but whatever it was that they've reached out. So I think it's legit and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that I haven't got to the point where I like fallen in love with Reddick yet from anything that I've seen,
Mhm.
but it makes sense. Like the fit's perfect and it's just easy because all these other guys you're trying to prime from a team. Jets are seemingly cool with trading him. Like they seek permission, so it's like it just makes too much. And he's an easy fit.
They
So yeah,
have
put him
to.
in Derek Barnes' role.
They have to recoup their loss because he's not going to play for them unless he's on contract. And I think
Right.
it's off of principle at this point too because you traded for me. They had I don't know if this part's true or not, but I guess there was a contract in place or some loose agreement there, and they Jets didn't hold their end of the bargain by offering the contract or whatever guarantees were a part of that. And so I think there's just like a principle, and he doesn't want to play for them unless they, you know, meet those demands.
Yeah, and they just traded for Devontae. So if they want some picks back, like that one's easy because, like I said, they're cool probably trading him. The only thing you got to figure out is the contract. So I think
Yeah.
that's the only discussion. That's why you reach out to the agent. It's like, well, what's it going to cost me? Yeah, I think that one just makes a ton of sense. So if it happens within the next day, I would completely believe it. I would not be surprised. I just
How would
want to.
you
I just
how would you grade
yeah.
that one? How excited would you be, or what would be your reaction to that trade?
All right, easy. Look, I'm gonna sound crazy here, and I don't want to be this guy because I feel like we can even watch him when we're here. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I haven't liked Haason Reddick from anything I've seen yet,
Mm.
which is why I feel weird because usually like I feel like okay, oh I'm on board with a lot of guys. I haven't. I see
Oh,
the like I see the I
yeah.
see the athlete, bro, and you're like, all right. He could be Derek. He could easily play the Barnes role. He's a way better pass rusher than Derek Barnes. And you look at what we have, and you're like, yeah, he's the complete opposite. Like he's fast. He's good off the line of scrimmage. He's all these. He's twitchy. He's all this, and it's just like he's available. Makes a ton of sense on paper, but then I watch him and it's like, I don't think I love it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
feel like I buy into certain guys, so I'm like, oh, I got to talk about him. I just don't feel it when I watch him. But
Um,
I
he's
just
more of a
may have
speed
not
rusher
seen the
for
right
sure.
stuff. Hmm?
He's more of like a speed rusher for sure, in my
Definitely
opinion.
a speed rusher.
I just
Like
don't
I
know
watched
that.
him against Minnesota. He did
Hmm.
nothing. I was like, this.
Did he play the run?
Yeah, like he can play the run. I don't think he's great against run, but he'd play it. But like most of the time he's out there, I think his snaps are like very high pass rush. Like I think the rates are like it was like it may have been like 11 run snaps to like 39 pass rush snaps. And I'm watching him like I don't see him doing anything in this game. Like the entire game, I didn't see him doing a thing. Maybe some of that was the conditions though too. I'm like, well, maybe it's just because I just don't see it, man. I don't know. I don't know. Do you feel differently though? Because you brought up Reddick, so you feel
No,
differently
I
on
don't, I
this?
don't, no, I don't necessarily feel differently. I just, if it's a guy they're looking at, I guess there's like faith in Brad Holmes. That
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, like so,
If
like
they make the move, I'll be hype.
yeah. And again, I said it right when we talked. We got to talking about this. Is just like I feel like they like more of the thicker set guys that could set the edge. I think that's just like what they go for. You look at who they've drafted to play that position, the guys they've signed to play that position. Like Houston was supposed to be a Sam, but just didn't end up working out that way. So now he's kind of just forced to play that spot. But like I think he could definitely get you sacks, but I just don't know if he's cashing in on those sacks without. Again, he might be another Robin. But he can still get his off though because DJ's going to get double teamed at times, or Lean will be double
Yeah.
teamed at times, so he'll still have those opportunities. But I don't know if they want guys that deep into the backfield. I think they want them to play the run as well, and it's something we're really good at is playing the run. So I think I don't know, but the fact they're
Yeah,
interested in them, that maybe they're calling them in to play that same spot. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so. But here's the weird thing about that though. Just like because if you're gonna get him and you probably replace, I don't. Maybe they asked, do we have to extend him or can we just like ride? Like I mean, shoot, depending on what you give
That's
up,
the other
like
part too. Yeah, like
is that a
do we have
must?
to extend him? Yeah,
Because it sounded like they want him extended. So maybe that's they're like, yeah, you have to. Okay, we don't want him then. Because to me,
Mhm.
I think if Barnes doesn't play again this year, which it sounds like he's not going to, I think
Yeah,
Barnes gets extended after the season. I don't think he gets a big deal, but I think he gets brought back. So I mean, it's not doesn't mean you can't bring in anybody else, but I
yeah,
just think he'll be brought back. I mean, you can make them both work. I just think it's on the table that he's brought back, and I think he will be brought back. So does that affect that potentially? If you're like, hey, we have because once you get that big money out, it's like he's got to have a role somewhere. Like this
yeah,
guy's gonna be on the field.
yeah. And I don't know that we have that role. I don't, and I'm not trying to say he's a bad player or anything like that. I just don't know. Like I just don't know. I can't really see what that's been for us outside of the Derek Barnes spot. And like you said, he might
Right.
get me signed, but maybe he doesn't though, because if you have obviously Haason Reddick, you're not really gonna. I don't know. Derek Barnes will sign back for cheap. But
That's what I think.
but also though, if he's your only option, and I still really want to win a Super Bowl, like, yeah, grab him and then go get Darius Smith for like that fifth round, and I feel like that you got
Go
your
get both of them.
yeah,
That'd be
bro.
crazy.
Why not?
Hey, I'm with it, bro. That'd be crazy. That'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun, man. All right, I want to show you this guy though. We don't have to spend long here, but I just think it's it because I knew Harold Landry would be brought up because I saw it on a list somewhere today. So I was like, okay, so
Yeah.
people are gonna talk about that.
Look
But
at his
Arden
numbers
Key
just now.
probably
He is a beast.
who is?
Harold Landry. I just looked at his numbers.
Oh,
He's actually a dog.
he's legit, bro. He fits perfect too. It's just the money. I'm like, okay, Titans are gonna have to eat some of that. It's like
Yeah.
he's probably a little bit cheaper than Reddick, but it's not far off. And I feel like if you're gonna go get Landry, you probably might as well just go get Reddick because Reddick's at least more of a proven pass rusher, I think, to this
Mhm.
point. So you might as well just do that. It probably costs less too because I don't think they want to move off Landry. They're just not good.
I don't
I
think
think
they're gonna
that's
trade him. Yeah, I think he's got. They obviously made a sizable commitment to him, and I feel like they've built that defense like specific. Like they traded for Snead. They obviously re-signed him. Justin Simmons. I think they went out and they drafted the one kid out of Texas too, the giant MF.
oh yeah, Sweat,
What?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think they feel like they got what they want on defense. They just got to figure out what they're doing on offense. I really don't think he's
Hey,
a trade candidate.
their defense is actually pretty darn good this year. Like if you go through
I
their
agree.
they're actually they're legit. I didn't know they were that good this year until I was
Mhm.
going in this next week's pick. I'm like, yo, their defense is really good this season.
I
Like
was
their
saying this offseason, man, their defense is pretty stacked.
defense is pretty, they're really good against the pass this year. It's just that they turn the ball over a lot, but they're pretty good on that side. This was the guy that caught. So I have his I don't. I think I have his financial situation here. So 2025, he's under contract. Over the cap says I think it costs 7 mil. So he'd be a 2-year guy too. This first year would be like super cheap, just over $1 million. So he'd be super cheap. Oh man, who's talking? Okay, but when I was seeing this man, he felt like he kind of felt like a lion. Like we talking about that kind of like that role, the guy that could play that role. Like he's obviously got the body type. He's the same size basically as Haason Reddick, 6'5", 240. So he's the same size. And I remember when he was a San Fran, he was used all over the place. He's an opposite though. Like it's kind of the same thing that like maybe interested in Uche is. He's just different than what we have. I like Uche better personally, but when I'm seeing him like the way he was playing the run, the way he was like chasing the football and stuff, I'm like, okay, I can see the Lions getting with a guy like this. That's kind of crazy like this. Like
They
he's
brought him
all
in
over
for a
the place,
visit.
bro. He seems out of control all the time as a pass rusher. So sometimes it's not great, right? And he's like a pure finesse pass rusher. But like you could get out of space, you could have him run around, and he's like very willing to step down and try to play the run. He's super long too. He's got the same length of the guy that we just signed, about 34-inch arms as well. So I'm just watching this dude, man, and I'm like, this guy makes sense, and he probably wouldn't cost much at all. And if Tennessee is going to move off somebody, I mean, this guy, he's going
He's the
for a day
one.
3 pick. I don't
Yeah.
think they'll want to move off the other guy.
No, they're not moving off Harold Landry. Like I was just saying, Arden Key though, he's been kind of floating around everywhere. I could definitely see them parting ways with him. He's not really made a commitment to anybody in the past like
No,
couple of years. Like I said, I remember him visiting with us. I remember him being in Allen Park, and just I think he ended up signing with either San Fran or the Jags. Maybe it was. I think it was San Fran.
yeah, yeah, he was with San Fran for a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think it's interesting, man, because he's not polished either. He's how old is he? I don't think I put his age down. I think he's a little bit on the other side. He's not like old though, but he's not like
um,
super polished. So it's like you're definitely if you get Reddick, you know you're getting a much more consistent rusher. Like
yeah,
I think there's a world in which you
he's
bring this guy in
28.
and he isn't. Okay, I think there's a world you bring him in and he's not actually better than one of these guys. He's not better than Uku. I think it's a possibility. That's the risk with him, but it's also that's why you're giving up what you're giving up to get him. But I'm like, okay, he's definitely more athletic than Uku. He's definitely more
Yeah,
athletic than the guys that we have right now, and he definitely fits all like the traits that you look for. And if you're talking about a guy that can drop and stuff, like this guy to me checks all the boxes. I think he's interesting.
yeah. That's a guy they met with before. That's a guy that I definitely see him making that move. And I do. I'm high. I'm high on Ugu. I think
Yeah, he
Arden's
played
probably
well.
a bit more polished, probably more proven, a little
Yeah,
more
Uku did his
athletic.
thing. Uku did his thing, man. He did his
Yeah,
thing last
I'm
week.
excited to
He
watch
was
him play
okay.
this weekend. Actually, he
See
played last
that?
week a little bit too, didn't he? Did he get snaps at the edge?
Yeah, yeah, I think he
Yeah.
did.
I messaged him. I said, "Congrats." He said, "Thanks." He must have played.
After last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, he was fine, man. Like he was okay. I'm like, you probably got to get somebody, but he was okay. Someone brought up Malcolm Kuntz. Is he really out there on like a? I haven't even thought of that name, but is he
I'm
really
not even
like
familiar.
considered?
I don't know
So
who that
he's the
is.
opposite of Crosby, but he was crazy last year. I know he had a breakout last year. I don't know what he's doing this
Yeah,
year.
but did he break out because Crosby or what?
Well, maybe, but I remember he was awesome. But he held off Tyree Wilson. You know what I mean? They used their first round pick, so they have a replacement. Oh, he hasn't even played this year. Chat, is Malcolm Kuntz hurt? What are y'all talking about, man? He didn't play this year. Maybe he's just been hurt.
They just
Maybe
wanted to
that's
spell
what we haven't
that
heard.
last name.
Huh?
They just wanted to say that last name, Kuntz.
Okay. 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 The other guy I saw, was Dietrich Wise or Dietrich Wise. I don't know how to say his name. I like put it. Oh, this is cool. I like this angle. What? Okay. No, I might put a couple clips. No, because I don't know whose article it was. Shout out to the article. No hate or nothing. I saw the article and they were like, Lions, like don't have a plan or something. They don't know what they're doing, like without Hutch. I think it was something like that. And they brought up like, oh, well, Wise, like this guy's available. Like that would be a. And I watched him and I was like, okay, you'd get a guy, but you're not like to me this kind of move I don't think makes a ton of sense. Like I mean you'd get consistency. That's fine. But it's like when you have Pascal and Levi, I don't want that. I feel like I have to get something more, especially as a pass rusher. Bro, you give me Dietrich Wise, and I'm like, I got Levi and Pat. I wouldn't even want to put this guy on the field. It's not because he's bad. I'm seeing like he plays the run pretty well. He's not going to bring much at all as a pass rusher. He's very average as a pass rusher. But he's like that old school Patriot, bro. Like he's been there for a while. This dude's old. But he's like that old school big body, just like 3-4 D end. And it's like he'll play the run pretty well. He's a smart player, but he's like more of like I'm going to contain rather than I'm actually going to get after the quarterback. There's like no transition ability. You know what I mean? For like playing the run, the rush, and the passer. And he's got like one way to win. he wins with force. That's basically it. So I'm like, this kind of move to me doesn't make sense.
No.
If you believe in the who is the guy we signed? I can't remember his name. It was Isaiah, wasn't it?
Isaiah Thomas.
If you believe in him at all, why would you sign a guy like this? That's what I was. That's what I was seeing. You're just getting that. I don't want that. We need more than that. We have that. I think we have that with Levi and Pascal and Uku. Uku was better than this guy was arguably last game.
Uku.
Hey.
He's got.
But it also is that because I would assume a deal's not gonna be done before. I mean, even if we do, we won't have him playing this weekend. Like this is James Houston. The door's back open a little bit. It feels like maybe.
Yeah, but also they're having this conversation about acquiring someone. Is it? Do
you think if they acquired somebody though, they play this weekend? Like I don't.
I think Dan talked about that today. He's like, he said, yeah, they throw him in the fire right away.
Oh snap! Okay, well I'm wrong. All right.
Well, I don't know if he played. I mean, but they're not going to acquire someone this week. He said they're taking their time. They're not. Okay. They're not going to force themselves into making some.
See, if the bye week was next week, this would be perfect. We'd have a.
I know.
Bro, we just have a little bit of time.
I
saw the Azeez Ojulari one. That was a weird one because I remember watching him like I don't know why I was watching him. I think I was just like looking at a list. There was like a list of guys that were like
free agents this year and he was
on there. Did you guys talk about him?
You've been talking about. I feel like you brought him up last week as well.
I may have because I had him. I had a list. Over the Cap put a list out of guys that were on the last year of his deal, and he was on there. So I remember seeing him through that, and I watched him, and he was like one of the guys that I was like, okay, there's a little something here, and you get the rookie deal, you'd be cheap in those things, but like he kind of falls into he's like, he's not to the Travon Walker level, but he also kind of feels like in the Wise category where I'm like, I don't think I'm getting enough. Like again, I see a world in which he doesn't become a starter. Like last week he had 6 pressures, and if you look at his numbers, it's actually really strong. He has a 14% pressure rate this season. He doesn't have a ton of snaps, but 14%, that's really good. I mean, Liam has 10, put it in perspective. So it's good, but like 2 of his pressures last week, the offensive tackle didn't move. He just ran past him. And I'm watching. I'm like, okay, this is the guy that I'd want to trade for, like in training camp. Like bring him in. Let's see what we can turn him into. Like not now when it's like bring somebody in to help us win. I don't think Azeez Ojulari is enough. Like I'm just, I'm not buying into that. There's not enough there, man. He looks kind of a little bit lost right now as a pass rusher. Still, this feels like there's a reason they would move on from the guy because the Giants aren't that bad. Feels like there's a reason because he hasn't put it together yet. So like a guy like that, I'm not like completely on board with yet. I feel like you got to find that medium ground, man. We got to find the middle on that, where he's not Myles Garrett, but you kind of know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do a little bit more homework on him, but just like look at the numbers. I see against where link was I just on? So against the Cowboys, he generated a 0% pressure rate and 16 snaps.
Okay.
Which granted is limited, but like 0%.
Hey, I believe it. I believe it. There's like you watch him, like, okay, I can see how this doesn't work at all. Like how it could not work at all. Like he gets off the line, but that's about it. Everything
Mhm.
outside of that was kind of messy.
And I saw a comment. I don't know. I think it was my guy Ryan. The price went up after the Bengals game, but like the Bengals are kind of notorious for like having a pretty bad offensive line, aren't they?
Yeah, bro, they have a terrible and like I'm watching. See, and look, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Easy, you know how you go into these, and you're like, let me go watch him against like the good D line and really see what he's about, or the old line. I went
Yeah.
in that one like I'm gonna go watch his like big game. Let me see what he's. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. The numbers are okay, but this is not good. Like I just don't think there's a reason they're gonna try to move this guy. I don't think I'd make that happen. So
And listen, I got to watch. I have not watched him at all. Like the names, I've had my heart set on like the tier one, tier two guys. Like
right.
that's just my belief as like cash in that Super Bowl this year. I think that's like where we gotta aim. You know, if you're gonna give up assets to acquire somebody, why are we dicking around? Let's go get like
I
a
agree.
you
Get
know
someone
a
legit.
BMF, a bad mother
Watch this
mucho
now.
mouth.
I see Quiddy Pay in the chat. I haven't looked into Quiddy Pay to be honest at all because I'd be a little surprised, but they are kind of loaded there with Latu now there. I mean,
Mm.
again, I struggle with teams like that because like I can see it being possible, but I don't. I think the Colts are in play to win the division still. Like it, I mean they're winning with Flacco, whether or not we believe that. I just
Yeah,
struggle with that one a little bit. Cameron Jordan. I looked into Cameron Jordan because I was like, well, that just makes too much sense. You know, go
he's
get
kind
Cam
of
Jordan.
cooked.
See, and that's I didn't realize he was kind of cooked. And I
Yeah,
watched him like,
he's kind
oh,
of
okay,
cooked.
he's not the. I,
Yeah.
I just assumed that he was a dog, and I was like, oh, Cam
Mhm.
Jordan, I'm gonna do a video on Cam Jordan. Now
Yeah.
watching, I was like, okay, he's not that not what I thought I was gonna get into here. So it's
Yeah.
like but I could see it because like, all right, he probably wouldn't cost much, and the Lions know him. What about though? What about the other guy over there? Because I'm just putting it on. I'm just gonna put it out
I
there.
gotta watch
Honorable
him.
mention.
Gary or Carrie, whatever his name is.
What are
Help
you
me
talking
out.
about, man? What'd you say? You said
Isn't
you're
his
watching
name is his name like Gary something?
who?
You talking about the Saints? The Saints?
Oh, you talking about Granderson?
Yes. What's his first
Okay,
name?
I wasn't talking about Granderson, but I'm not
Okay.
Carl. I'm not mad at that though. I'm not mad at Carl.
Okay.
Carl's legit. Carl's came on.
Carl, not Carrie. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that was big. No, no, the guy, the honorable mention right here, Peyton Turner. I remember looking at him before the year started. There was a first round pick by him a couple years ago. He's on the last year of his deal. He's played like, see, this is a concern because he's got a knee injury right now. He's played like 100 snaps. And I'm like, all right, I don't know if the Lions would make a trade and be like, this is going to help us, the guy that's hurt. It's not that serious. He's back. He's limited today. He'll be back. But I'm watching, like, the guy's been good this year. He hasn't played much, but he's been pretty darn good this season. And it's like the body type fits. He'd be like an easy fit at DN. And this is like a potential future piece where it's like this
That's
could turn into
huge.
something. He's legit. He's got all the measurables, as a first round pick, but he's like come on this year when he's been out there. Peyton Turner, I feel like could be very interesting. It also feels like they might just want to re-sign him because they're kind of bad right now. It's like let's not get rid of young guys. But I don't know. That's the guy I want to throw the name out there. Just put it in the
No,
air.
I mean, he's not even really playing that many snaps at all.
No, well, because Granderson and Cam Jordan are above him. By the
Yeah.
way, Cam Jordan, bro, he's hey.
You watched
Cam
it?
Jordan,
You watched the tape?
I watched him Cam Jordan, and
Yeah.
there was like one point where he wasn't on the field on third down. I'm like, oh man, this is not what I thought I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
Like he plays at the inside a little bit more now. He's a little bit more of that guy.
Yeah. His body. I mean, no, I mean, I love him, and I'll do respect to him. His
Oh,
body's
absolutely.
taken a beating over the years, because he's been very consistent. He's been like an Iron Man over there. I don't think he's missed too many games, Cam Jordan.
Hey, if we got Cam Jordan, I'd be hyped. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I'd be hyped. I'd find a positive spin on that because it's
Yeah.
Cam Jordan, bro.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
You have to force it. You have to force it a little bit. I only know too because when the Saints were like started the season hot, I was like, damn, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to the Saints right now. And they played that Eagles game, and I was like, okay, what's going on with Cam Jordan? Like, because with this in mind, by the way, too, like but this is a guy we get down the line, and
yeah,
oh, okay,
that's crazy.
yeah,
Hey, that's crazy. Here's another name. Just throwing it out there. He's on a team right now. We had him before, so we would this. Hey, easy decision. He's on Carolina right now. Easy. You know who I'm talking about. No, I don't think anybody. I didn't know he was on Carolina. It's Charles Harris. Charles Harris is a
Come on,
starter
what
for
are we doing?
Carolina.
What are we doing?
Hey, look.
What are we doing?
It ain't gonna cost much. All right. Hey, we know what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a solid. Hey, Charles Harris did his thing when he started
He
for that 1 year.
lost his job to Matthew Betts.
Well,
and then Matthew Betts lost his job.
Is that true? Man, see, look, I wasn't even.
I mean, he didn't lose it to him, but they had more faith in Matthew Betts than they did him. That they brought him back.
Hey, he had a good year, dog. He's still playing. He's still being like he's good against the run.
Happy for him.
That's all right.
Come on,
he's a good play. He's solid. Hey,
we're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Well, easy. You need depth. All right. You know, you're the guy that wants to make 2 trades. I'm trying to give you one of the 2. I'm giving it half the pizza right here, man.
No,
half the pizza is Charles Harris.
No,
Myles Garrett and Charles Harris for.
No, hell no. No.
All right.
I respect him, by the way. I hope he's doing fine. I hope his family's doing great and all that stuff.
Easy got me on that one. Nah, Easy didn't get me on that one. I feel like I laid it out. You guys aren't opening your ear. Yeah, Julian Okwara.
No,
hey,
that's like
Julian Okwara. I don't think you can trade for Julian Okwara, bro. Like, you could. Like, he played a little bit last week for Arizona, but it would look kind of crazy to go trade for Julian. I would struggle to give a draft pick for the guy, but I like Julian. I think they're going to keep Gardeck. Like Gardeck, to me, Gardeck isn't much of a pass rusher. I like Gardeck, but he doesn't do enough. I think my priority might be different than the Lions. I feel like priority 1 for me is pass rush, bro, over everything. That's why Wise didn't really intrigue me that much. I'm like, you got to get after the court. That's number 1. I don't care like what type of pass rusher you are. If you can't get after, if you're like at getting after the quarterback, I'd rather just not make the move. I got guys that can stop the run. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I'll sacrifice the other things. You can't stop the run. That's okay. Can you rush the passer? We can make that work. That's what we need. I can figure out stopping the run with what we got. I need someone that can rush the passer, and that's where I start with guys like Wise and Gardeck. I like Gardeck. He's smart. He could do a lot of different things. Keon White would be nut. If they traded Keon White,
that'd be crazy. They're not getting rid of Keon White. He's too good.
That dude has been incredible this year, dog.
He is. There's no way that guy's going to trade market.
Keon White's a dog, bro. The Calais Campbell one I think is interesting because we know we've had interest. He'd be weird. I just said I don't care about the fit. He'd be weird because he doesn't really fit Hutchinson's role. You could find a spot for him. He's just not Hutchinson. It's a little bit different. But they've had interest in him. I think everybody always kind of has a little bit of interest in him. Hey, what about Aaron Donald? I know this is like completely random, but when I it's like 2 days ago, I don't remember. It was like 1 or 2 days ago, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, what about Aaron Donald? Like, is anybody like bringing up? Because there was J.J. Watt rumors at one point. Like nobody's like just bringing up the rumor. Like, well, Aaron Donald saw the injury.
He's like, listen, he said, I love Detroit. I love playing in Ford Field. You like what we got going on? He said he took a walk with his kids and he enjoys those moments more.
Wait, who said that?
J.J. Watt.
Oh, okay. I'm not talking about J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
I haven't heard from Aaron Donald. He hasn't called that. He hasn't canceled that possibility. Easy is what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like everybody's watching that happen. All right. There's a connection there.
There is a connection.
I mean, it's happened before. You know, guys come out of retirement. Like, hey, Aaron Donald didn't feel like he was done. That dude was still incredible. Hey, I just want to keep the belief alive until it can't be alive anymore, man. You ain't got to worry about the trade deadline with that one. Just go pick him up whenever. You know what I mean? He can come week 16.
But what do we still owe? We still have to give them something. What do we? Remember when Gronk came out of retirement for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they give him like a 5th round pick or something like that?
We'll give him a 5th round pick. All right. Look, he's not playing for LA. LA don't got no leverage here. It's not like he's gonna come back and be like, all right, I'll play with you, LA. It's like, bro, just take your pick and move on. You know what I mean?
I didn't even allow myself to get excited for that one because I guess you could say like this is definitely more of a Super Bowl contention situation than obviously LA is right now, and that's probably part of the reason why he was like, let me hang him up. But like, I watched like a clip of him over the summer on a podcast, and he just feels fulfilled. Like that's just the takeaway I got from it. Like the passion, I guess, is kind of gone in his heart. But maybe you know we dangle a little Super Bowl possibility in front of him. He might want to do that.
No, you're definitely probably right on this. I'm just throwing it out there because I just haven't.
No, listen. I'm not going to say no. You know, I go and do that. If that's on the table, 100,000,000%. Oh my! You could put Lee McNeil at edge in that situation.
Bro, I mean, if we're
Dude,
calling guys, you gotta call him. You gotta make the call. You gotta make a text message. Hit him up on Instagram. We gotta at least slide in one time. You know what I
I'd even
mean?
love for Wingo to learn some stuff from him.
Oh,
Although he's a
dude,
freak of nature, no one can
absolutely.
really do the stuff he does, but just like the leverage stuff, I'm sure he is taking advantage of being stout. You know?
Is he'll go play straight defensive end for us. Like he'll make it work
Yeah.
out there. You know what I mean? So, um, I'm still on board with I had there was a list that I saw. I don't know if you saw this list. Was there anybody else that you had that you were
What's your
considering?
take on Carl Granderson? You kind of go, Carey. What's your take on Carey Granderson? You kind of gloss
Bro,
over that.
honestly, I haven't watched him like specifically. I know Carl's taken off though. He's good. I know
Yeah.
Carl's a good player. Um, I don't know what his contract. Let me see what his contract situation is. Because like that's another one where it's like I don't know why you trade him because he feels like their best player, and they don't really have pass rush players now anyway. So it's like that's
Yeah.
the only guy that brings that.
And it
I
might
mean
be
he's
more
on
of
a
a rental too. I don't think he's locked. Oh no, he is locked up. Oh
he is
wow,
locked
he's a
up.
really really good deal.
He's locked up to 2027. No guaranteed salary though after 2025.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if the Saints are selling. Like to me, I don't think they are, but I can see why you
I,
would think they are.
I feel like every year they're in cap. They're in
They're
like
always in a
some little bit of a
mess.
cap situation. Yeah, but like
They got a mess right now too with no
when you
quarterback. Well,
use over the cap, do you actually drop down and use like the trade like post?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing
yeah,
it right now.
yeah.
Yeah, they'd still save like four. I think that's a realistic one to be honest with you.
You think they'd move off of him?
Just because like I mean, this season's kind of crashing out for them anyway. They're
Oh, it
constantly
definitely
in
is.
cap hell. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what are they like
I
scratching
th-
and
I think
clawing
they're.
for.
I think
Dennis
maybe they
Allen
move off a
fucking
car.
sucks. Sorry for swearing. I apologize, but I don't think Dennis Allen is like maybe he's a good defensive coordinator. I don't think he's a good. Like, why? I don't know. I can't believe they're running it back with him this year. That kind of blows my mind a little bit there too. But
Yeah,
I think it's a
he's
little bit of a
legit.
realistic one. I mean, maybe they signed him so there's some commitment to him. But if they're getting new leadership at some point,
See, and I saw people bring up Chase Young. I like Chase Young personally. I don't think the Lions would bring in Chase Young. I don't think they'd
nah, I don't
consider
think they
Chase
would.
Young. I,
I
I like him.
guess you
I don't
do it
think they
that way.
would.
I like Chase Young. People didn't like me for liking Chase Young, but like I like good players. So,
Yeah,
but
I like Chase
he
Young.
just don't seem like the grit. You don't seem like this guy.
No, no,
You
he's
know?
not. I think it gets overblown like how bad he is against the run. Like there's guys that I can show you that literally can't play the run. He's not that, but he's also he's not the guy that's like that's the guy the Lions. Carl Granderson is the guy the Lions would bring in. Cam Jordan
Yeah,
would. They wouldn't bring in Chase Young. I don't think that's a pot. But the reason they brought in Chase Young too, they jumped on that as a proven deal is because they have nobody that can create pressure as well outside of Granderson, which is why he's locked up. So they needed to offset something that I guess that tells you a little bit where Cam Jordan's at. You know what I mean? The fact that they would have went out and made that 1 year deal because of where they're at in terms of guys that can get after him. But
yeah.
yeah, I like. Here's a list I saw. I saw a list and it had. We know Max Crosby's not getting moved. That's what it sounds like now. I don't think that's
Don't
going to
give up.
happen. Well, I'm not giving up. I just.
Don't give up. Damn it.
I saw Jadeveon Clowney listed. I'm not a big Clowney guy. I don't know. I don't even know where if Clowney's even on a team or is he a free agent?
He's with the Panthers,
Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. Is he
and
playing? That's
he
incredible,
feels like another bat or another Robin to me. Like he was
bro. I don't.
effective for the Baltimore Ravens, but that was alongside Matabuke and company.
Man,
You know.
yeah, it's a dog. Yeah, he was. He was, but I didn't even
If
like him
we had
last year. To be honest
Hudson,
with you.
bring me Clowney. But without him, no.
But don't you kind of got to be okay with going to get a Robin a little bit easy? Like I feel like in a way we're not going to get a team's Batman. Like what Batman do you think realistically we could go
We're
get?
getting him.
Like
We're
what?
getting the Batman. Damn it.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't. Bro, like I didn't like that's the thing. I didn't like Clowney last year with the Baltimore, so I don't. I would assume I wouldn't like him this year. But like, is there a Batman? Do you think that? Because like this guy was asking you earlier, like, do you? I mean, do you think they'd give? Do you think there's anybody that they'd be like, oh, we'll give him a first round pick? Like, do you think that's legit?
Well, I mean, people may disagree, but I think Trayvon Walker's a Batman. I think that could be a little bit of a Batman. I mean, he probably like the '70s version of Batman, where like he's still a
Okay, so
superhero, but he looks really lame. Like maybe that version, where he's like wearing blue underwear. Like Batman wears black. Why are you wearing like what's up with the blue?
okay, Yeah, he
I
was
think
blue at one point.
I think a name. I don't know if you brought this up, yeah, actually, but Trey Hendrickson. I think he's a little bit of a Batman.
Oh, he's a Batman. I'll
They
give
would
you
always
that.
they
He's
would
a
turn into
dog.
Robin next year. Like, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if they return, but like, I
No,
think they're.
Hendrickson's one of those where it's like, again, I don't.
Batman's
If I'm
smart.
Cincy, bro, you can't trade off a Hendrickson if you're Cincy, bro. They have nothing outside of him on the front. They have nothing. I
Yeah, but
would
they're
love
also
it though.
like
He is incredible.
he wanted to be. You know, like Sam Hubbard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because he's white. I was kidding.
Well, I wasn't gonna. No, he's just. Yeah, I'll be okay with
Yeah.
that. But Hendrickson's
didn't pay
incredible,
attention
bro.
to Sam Hubbard this year. I know he had good years in the past, but DJ Reader was there in the past too. That probably helped him a little bit. But no, Trey Henderson wanted to get traded before the season. The Cincinnati's ownership notoriously is like
Like I said,
it's like
he
it's like
hates you.
it's like old version of our ownership where it's like it's they don't take care of the players. They never guarantee money in the contracts. Like, I think Joe Burrow was the first I guess obviously he's a quarterback position, so it's a little bit different. But that's the most guarantees ever given out, and it was a big question around then. It's like if they would even do it because of their history. Obviously, what they're doing with Jamar Chase, like he's not going to get paid. He wants out. There's a relationship with DJ Reader. I think if you're smart, it doesn't look like you're going to be making the playoffs or any noise in the playoffs this year. If you're Cincy, yeah, get rid of him.
But do they believe that? That's my problem. I don't think they believe that. I think they think they're a Super Bowl team. They're
I'll tell
not,
you
but
this,
they think so.
and I don't know if it's mean to pipe up the guys around him, but like Joe Burrow's on the podium like 2 weeks ago, and he was like, we're not fit to compete for a Super Bowl.
We're not. Yeah, but right now we're not though.
Yeah.
But those Bengals fans, they think they're gonna get there, man. They do.
Yeah, but I mean,
Hey,
they
listen,
could.
Browns
I really think
that
they could make the
conversation.
playoffs. I don't think that's not a question to me. I think they could. They've been playing really well on offense, just like whatever's going on in defense.
Yeah, their defense is awful. Which is why they can't. If they have any belief, you can't trade away Hendrickson. You have no answer. They don't have a
Yeah.
guy stepping in either. And if
I
you
didn't
look,
watch
they
that
already
game
don't
on
have a
Sunday
run
night either
defense.
because I was on with Herman, so I didn't even get to see. Did they look good then or no? No, because you.
On Sunday against the Giants.
Yeah.
Against the Giants. Giants didn't have any receivers. They were fine.
Yeah.
I thought their back end looked okay, but they don't have anybody moving up either. Like they already can't stop the run. So I couldn't see them moving off him. But yeah, if they think their season's over, I'm on board. That might be the best option on paper, honestly.
Yeah. Ryan
Jermaine
Thompson.
Johnson. Bro, y'all got to stop giving me hype. I love Jermaine Johnson, bro. But it's just like, how often is there like I don't know if this
Is
makes
that the guy?
sense.
That's the guy with the Jets. Isn't it with a J?
Yeah, with the J. He was
They're not trading him.
back into the first round.
They're not.
Pick 26.
What? They're not trading him.
As I'm saying, how often does that actually happen where a first round pick gets traded on the last year of his? He's not on the last year of his contract. He was in JMO's draft. Is JMO on the last year of his deal?
Was he first round?
Yeah, he went 26, I think. But I don't even think he's on the last year of his deal. Because this isn't JMO's
Oh yeah, you're
last
right.
year, is it?
No, it's not that. No, it'd be the following year.
Yeah, see, that'd be wild. I maybe like
They're
I
not
think
trading
Okuda was moved on
Jermaine
the last
Johnson.
year.
Though.
But yeah, 2 years out, like you can't do that.
Like they already don't have. They're already like in the situation right now with Reddick that they need Jermaine Johnson. You want to talk about delusional franchise? They think they're still competing. The Jets think they're competing. They just went and grabbed
That's facts.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, no,
I think they should grab an offensive line coach or offensive coordinator. That's there's a lot more stuff to figure out there than grabbing Devontae Adams.
That might make some sense. That might make some sense.
For real. It's crazy. Nope. Yeah, that offense is crazy. Brian Thompson earlier said it would make sense for Cincy to trade him, but they haven't paid Chase or Higgins. But their ownership is weird. He doesn't see it happening. But that's why I think it could happen because you haven't paid Chase, you haven't paid Higgins.
No, I mean that you're making a good point. It makes sense. I would love Trey Hendrickson. They're giving up on the season if they trade away Trey, in my opinion. Or you just say we have to score 40 points and we just don't care how much the other team scores. We're okay with the fact we're trash on defense. We're not going to try to we're just trash. I guess so. If you just could accept that, you could accept. Like someone brought up they want to trade Rick contract. Like Ojulari could be traded. I could see that, but it's because he also hasn't done anything, and I think he's on the last year of his deal. Yeah, like if you
is he on the last year?
He might not be actually. I could be wrong on that. He just hasn't done much, and they're really bad. So I shouldn't even say they're really bad. I don't think the Giants are really bad. They're not worse than the Jets. Shoot, I mean, I'd probably take the Giants over the Jets. Let me calm down. Giants are. I don't think the Giants are terrible. They just don't have like any offensive pieces. We're getting off track.
No, you're good.
What about Trey Flowers? Chat, he needs a second. Yo.
No,
I don't even know where dude is, bro. I Bro, man, that's so funny, dog.
What was wrong with you, Mike?
Hey, man. You got some Trey Flowers love, man. Trey Flowers is a dog, bro. Like,
He had his time. He had his time for sure.
yeah, man.
You know who I would. I mean, just see if he's like, Chandler Jones. You know, like you figure things out. Are you still,
Oh, that's right. He had all the
Yeah.
What do you think's more likely? They go sign a free agent or trade for somebody, like an actual name? Because I guess they technically already signed one, but it was
Yeah.
I
mean, who's even
Cliff Averill? That's wild. Cliff
Dude,
Averill.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a Cliff Averill stan back in the day.
Oh, dog, yeah.
Like, that was my guy.
Or did you feel like he was a little overrated? You know what I mean? Because like he popped in that one year and then he was just kind of left. Well, I'm just easy. Just be fair. He popped in his contract year and then he left.
No, dude, he played very well for Seattle. What are you talking about?
Well, I know. I'm saying as a Lion. Like, did you feel like, oh, okay, this guy?
No, he had like a couple good years with us.
Okay. No, I don't remember it that well, so I just.
That's fair. You
know what I mean?
You are a lad.
I remember him being good, but I don't remember him that well.
Yeah.
I just remember. Yeah, I don't know. Romeo Okwara. Like, chat, but we're not getting better. I feel like with that move. Like, that's just.
Yeah, no.
We're familiar with. We gotta. Romeo, even when came back healthy, he wasn't. I wouldn't say Romeo was better than Pascal, or he wasn't better than Ukwu. You know what I mean? Like he.
Yeah. Have you given up on Julian? Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds like yeah. No.
I mean, he's on Arizona now. They just picked him up recently.
I'm looking at free agent edges right now to see who is available.
Because so the rest of the list, I saw Travis Gibson, who I don't think has played much this year, and then some other dude. I don't even know who he is. I still seeing Josh Uche's name sprinkled in there. Hey, Tony off. We'll get Josh Uche. I'm be fired up.
Oh, dude.
Happened. It just makes too much sense, man. Like,
and you love Josh Uche.
Mm-hmm.
How about these names?
Legit, it makes too much sense.
I don't know what's going on with him. I know Randy Gregory did some like off-field stuff. I don't know what he just never could seem to fit anywhere. But Randy Gregory's out there. Yannick Ngakoue. That's kind of it.
Yeah, Yannick. He just came in for a visit for somebody, I think.
Yeah, he might have signed.
Didn't he just get signed? I think Baltimore just signed him or something.
Yeah, I think he did just get signed.
Yeah. Yannick's
always great signing. I don't know why he doesn't get more. Like, what's wrong with him that people don't? That it comes out of this time of the year that he gets signed. Is he purposely doing that?
I don't think he's that good. Teams just scrambling. It's like he's done things in the past. It's kind of like what we did last year, right? We went out and signed a vet. He was fine. He wasn't good though. Like who did we sign last year?
Who did he sign with last year?
No, we signed dude from Seattle. Remember we signed like the older
Bruce Irvin.
Yeah, okay. He was okay. But like you wouldn't need him for the season like you would hope.
Randy Gregory's family actually lives in Macomb County. Fun fact. I don't know if they still do, but my friend was named.
Macomb County is, so I'm just.
Oh, that's right. You were from Florida.
What? What's up?
Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Well, I was gonna say everybody's saying Landry. Like, do y'all think Landry's that good? I wouldn't do it with the number. They would have to take a significant amount of that. I don't think he's that good for the number he's getting paid.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I also haven't done a lot of homework on him. I just looked at the stats and said, damn, he is pretty good. Zadarius Smith looks slow. I was just watching him a little bit there.
Easy, man. He's a power DN, bro. All right. Do you want me to put anybody on the screen?
Yeah, do Zadarius Smith. And then
okay. Well, this is
Carl Granderson feels
I'm not. Granderson's a dog. He just, if they wanted to move him, I'm on board with that.
Ojulari feels like a realistic one. I think Henderson's more realistic than you do, but
Who, Ojulari?
no. You're Hendrickson.
Oh, you like? Wait, what'd you say? You like Henderson more than I do?
No, I think it could happen. I almost would say it would.
That'd be amazing. No, it'd be amazing. Like, if I was a Bengals fan, I'd be devastated. But we've also seen it happen. Like when we tried to Tate, I guess we were probably in a similar situation when we traded Tate away. Right, we were 500, and it was like, okay, we think we're alive, but maybe they don't think they're alive, so they just moved off him. It's like, this is crazy. That'd be the Hendrickson move. I feel like why are we moving on? He's a good player, but I don't think Tate actually worked out once they moved off him. He went to the Giants, right? It was kind of a mess for him. I don't think Henderson's in that spot. Let me make that clear. I think Henderson's still really good. Okay. This is oh, that's not it. I just clicked Za'Darius Smith.
Old man Landry or Old man Smith.
Hey, he's a dog, bro.
Look at him. He's running. He's got a diaper on.
All right, that was not the play to start with. You know what I mean?
Man, really got to take a boo.
Hey, Deshaun Hand's done pretty good for Miami, man. Deshaun Hand's had some work.
I never. That's such a veteran. Oh, dude, they're not trading for him. You think Dan Campbell would cut that on? And be like, yeah, Dan Campbell wants
Deshaun
somebody.
Hand?
No.
Who?
Za'Darius.
Yeah, bro. I think Za'Darius Smith gets traded to the Lions. If I had to predict, I think we go get Za'Darius Smith.
He just don't look like he looks like that last play looked Jamie Collins-esque.
You're a hater, bro.
I'm not even
Jamie Collins. That's crazy. You just compared this man to Jamie Collins?
Yeah, bro. Dan Campbell wants you flying balls to the wall. Let's watch this play. Not that play.
Okay.
I meant the one before that, but
go and get both the ends. Well, Easy does want to make 2 trades, so maybe we go get Garrett and just take their defensive line. Hey, we can both.
You see if we get Za'Darius, I can see them.
What was that?
Oh.
Yeah, Easy. Hey, you could feel that one. You could feel that through your
bones.
Old
man Smith still got it.
Doing a little work on Lane Johnson too. We ain't talking about Lloyd Cushenberry. I don't know why. We talking about Lane Johnson. You know what I mean? Look at this. Come on now.
All right. A little Marcus Davenport-esque.
That's what I'm saying. He beat Davenport for us, and I would give up a pick to have Davenport back for the rest of the season. I would do that. He would be a huge help.
Keitho, I'm with you, bro. I did not know Judon was going to play without a contract. Pisses me off.
Honestly, and here's the thing: Atlanta's gotten no pressure this year. They are like one of the worst teams at creating pressure. I think he's done nothing for them. They create their pressure rate is 14%. That's pretty awful, man. It is.
Even Judon? What the hell happened here?
Hey, Epinesa from the Bills. He's playing though now, isn't he?
But yeah, he is.
Epinesa's really never popped though in the NFL. Like that'd be a little more of an upside trade, but I think he's playing for him.
Did he pop?
Epinesa's popped?
I mean, I like him.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that popped, but you like him.
I could be wrong.
I just feel like that wasn't a really strong case you just made right there. I like him.
I mean, it's like a Sam, you know.
All right, easy.
I'm not. It's not a strong sell because I'm watching Old Man Smith right now. All right.
Smith is doing work, bro. We're watching it. We're sitting here we're getting better watching this guy play. I can feel the Lions. If Dan Campbell's in the chat, hey, circle this man right here. This has got to happen. This has to happen. Look at this. Look at this. We're playing the run, Easy. Playing the run. Hey, I'll put Uche on the screen.
I don't know. We playing the run there.
We could put Reddick on the screen and just all be disappointed together. You want me to do that? And that's
give me a little bit more Smith, and then we could do that.
Okay. Go get Smith and Uche. Man, I might have to get one of those jerseys if we went out and did that.
Yeah, you know what? Put on Uche.
Uche's a dog, bro.
Because that's your guy.
Should I show pass rush snaps only instead of just all the snaps?
Yeah, sure. That's what they're looking for
okay, because I could have did that with Za'Darius too. I would have just shown everything.
You wouldn't be mad if you wanted to go back and do it.
Okay, I'll do that for like a hot minute, and then we'll go back. How about Derek Brown? Dog, Derek Brown's amazing. That dude's amazing. But yeah, DTDN, I would keep him at DT. I wouldn't want to move him to DN. But yeah, no, he's amazing. We just paid Aleem. It'd be over.
I wanted him like 2 years ago.
He ended up being the guy. Like out of that draft class, that was the year we took Okuda, right? Like
everyone was like, "Look at his sack numbers," and I'm like, "You fucking stupid."
Hey, that was probably me. I ain't gonna lie. Back at that time, bro, that's probably what I was doing. Looking at them sack numbers, like, not it. Not it, dog. Honestly, though, he's so good. And but in fairness, I didn't want Okuda either. We took Okuda.
Yeah, it's like when we got
No, that was Hawkinson's drafts. My bad. Go ahead.
2020.
Oh no, that would have been Okuda.
I think it was Okuda.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. I see a disruptor right here, bro. I'm looking at the first two pass rush plays, and I'm watching him change the game. I feel like the energy in this building has changed.
I just yawned.
These two plays. Well, no, I know, but you just the energy's changed. It doesn't mean it's good. The energy's changed. He's getting tired watching this Jerry. That's crazy.
Who's Graham? What's she talking about?
Bro, these. Yeah, we already saw these plays. I should have skipped these three. We just were watching the same plays. Hey, there's no skip button over here, man. Wish the Lions could have got Graham.
Graham who?
Didn't he retire? I think Brandon Graham.
No, he's with Eagles still.
He's still there? Oh,
Pretty sure he is.
Oh, Mason Graham. Well, yeah, he'd be next year. Smith would be good. Solid dude. Oh, he's legit, bro. I think Zadarius Smith getting slept on. I think he's better than Solid. To me, he's definitely not as easy as you would say. He's not Superman, but he's a nice little
dance there.
He's what's second up to Superman? Oh snap! He did hit that. What's second to Superman? You would say like probably Super Dog, like the dog from Super Pets or whatever.
Yeah, that's you want qualifying as that. I don't know.
Well, I'm just laying it out for the people. That was a solid movie.
You know who he is to me? Mermaid Man. You know what? He's Barnacle Boy. No,
that's crazy. Hey,
he's the sidekick.
Everybody would choose Mermaid Man over Barnacle Boy, bro. Mermaid at least got the big M, bro. Barnacle Boy literally has nothing, dog. All he has is a pencil as his
maybe the Lions aren't in the position to be choosers. They're more in the beggars category right now. I just don't.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And I'm not like pooping on him as a player. Like, I think they're looking for a little bit more effort.
What?
All
right, easy.
I don't know if I'm getting that out of this guy every single snap. I just don't. To be honest with you.
Bro, I think you're crazy, dog.
Well,
I think you're disrespecting a future U.S. Army. So, look, man.
What?
You've never seen that?
No.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, that missed then. Yeah, we missed on that.
Scary movies.
I know everybody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. At least
no one knows what you're talking about.
You've never seen that video?
No, what are you talking about?
Bro, it's like a famous Vine, dude.
Okay, there's a little effort right there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe maybe it's lagging for me.
It's lagging. It's definitely lagging a little bit.
It just makes it look like he's waddling instead of running or something.
Well, he was waddling a little bit that way. I ain't gonna lie. He's waddling a little bit. There's a little waddle in this game. It's okay though. Easy look. We take all kind of stop. My man said Jalen Phillips.
He got hurt again.
Yeah, I think he's out for the year.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but
Miami has like no pass rushers, man. Their Tyus Bowser they just picked up. They don't have any.
They let Van Ginkel go. I understand that. I like Shothead still. If we're bringing back in, oh my god,
that was a little
Miles Garrett is funny.
I'm watching Miles Garrett. To be honest with
you.
Yeah. That was still nice. Hey,
you can't help but to watch him. You're like, God, look at that.
He's insane, bro. Zadarius doing work though. We see him in there doing work.
He's too big to be doing. That's insane.
Yeah, Zadarius is too big for that.
2 firsts for Miles Garrett. Would you do it?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Hey, we'll figure it out, dog. Someone just not getting paid. That's okay with me.
Who was that?
You imagine having Miles Garrett and Hutchinson going forward? There's nothing you can do with that, man. Take all your foot injuries, bro. I don't care.
Aleem McNeil would have a career year. another career year. He's gonna have one this year too.
Lee McNeil. Oh yeah, he needs to now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. We get Gardeck and Van Ginkel, bro. Yeah, they're not. I'm with you. 3 long year, man. Should got Van Ginkel during the off season, bro. We were sleeping.
That'd be
Rangers
Hitler's
sleeping.
favorite team.
Whoa. He's also perfect for that.
Okay, a little spin move for Barnacle Boy.
Bro, Barnacle Boy's got work, bro. Y'all are.
Was
If
that
you don't
Barnacle Boy?
believe, just wait till the move is made. You know what I mean? Barnacle Boy is. That wasn't the best spin move.
No.
Look, easy. This
Okay.
is.
He tried. There he is.
You know, it's just tough, man. We just looking at such a.
Put your mouse on them so people can see.
Yeah, you're right. That was a screen, man.
Yeah, there's.
Why is there no skip button, bro?
Go ahead, just skip it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
He's right here. Plus, he's already playing that on the left side. You know what I mean? So he just plugs right in. Eagles O line.
He's definitely the Marcus Davenport type.
Yes. And I'm
Also another thing too, though, looking back at what he's done recently, how often is he rushing with his hand in the dirt? I feel like that's what our guys do.
He could. I mean, he could. But in fairness, Uku didn't really do that last game.
Ooh, cool.
Well, he did both. Uku did both. In fairness to him. All right, we'll go to Uche. On it, or we don't even have to go to Uche. I already did a video on this. You want to show Reddick? Because I feel like he's the guy that's getting the buzz. Or do you want to see nobody? Like, what do you want to?
I want to see Uche.
Okay.
I know what Reddick is. We know what Reddick is.
What is he?
Well, he's a 6'4"
Overrated.
Bohemian man.
Okay.
He's a family man, American man, a future U.S. soldier.
Yeah, see, you've never seen it. You don't get it. It's all good. You'll see it at some point. And you'll understand it. Reddick is a horrible businessman. We know that. Hey, man, he had the wrong agency. We all make mistakes, man.
Mm-hmm.
He has lost like $10 million, though. I'm pretty sure.
10 million.
That's
right. That's why you like it.
That's what Rosenhaus said, man. He said 10 million. I think he said.
Wow.
That's crazy. And it's fines. In fines. I think it was in fines. 10 million in fines. Give Donald a call. Bobo, we've already given him the call a couple times. He just hasn't answered. Aaron Donald, man, he's got his phone on silent. Drafting 32s could actually make it tricky for Holmes. I don't think he'll consider giving him a first round pick. I think if anybody calls the first round, the trade won't happen. I think that I would say it's much more likely that the trade is a day 3 pick alone than it's a day 1 pick. Any future pick.
What number is Uche?
55. I'll point him out. Oh, he made the tackle here, so it'll be easy to point out. I hope Nate Lynn comes back next year. Yeah, Nate Lynn was cool, man.
What would you give up for Keon White?
I'd probably give my first round pick for Keon White. Yeah, I'd give him my first round pick. I'd probably give him more than my first round pick for him.
I think people don't know about him yet because he's.
Bro, that's the thing. I liked Keon a lot coming out, so I have probably some bias out of Georgia Tech. He was just crazy. He was like, yeah, he's all over the place, but he was like a train. And yeah, pressure rate wise, he's one of the best in football this season. And he's not the kind of guy that I thought would get there.
I can't even see where Uche is. I know, and he's really versatile. He plays pass too.
Yeah, Keon's crazy.
He's very instinctive. I watched a breakdown of him with Bill Belichick.
I think it's fell on him. Oh, Bill Belichick did a breakdown on Keon White?
Yeah.
Yeah, he drafted him, huh?
He was like, this is why I like this guy, Keon.
He's hard not to like, though, man. If you watch him, he plays with some crazy energy. He got lashed up right here. Thoughts on Holmes giving him a top 10?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he called him a Dan Campbell guy.
I believe it. I'm moving up
into
the top 10 draft next year.
I think he said
No, I don't see
someone
this happening.
Keon White or Uche.
No, what Count Dooku just said. Because here, I don't think it's that the Lions feel like, oh, almost a pick there. I don't feel like it's that the if the Lions had Hutch, like they can add edge help, but I think they're still fine with where they're at. They just need depth. It's just that you lost your best player on defense. Like there's no replacing that really, which is why I think it's like you're not gonna find that in the trade deadline. You can't replace what you lost there. So you get I think you get a solid piece that you know you're gonna get, and then you just change your defense schematically. You're just a more heavy blitzing team, which is who the Lions are, and you bank on that cornerback room being developing fast. Hey, we need you. Oh
I'll
my
tell you what.
goodness. What's up?
I'd cut off my fucking foot for Max or Miles Garrett. I just want Brad Holmes to know if you want to throw that in on your trade offer.
He had Easy's foot. Hey, that's crazy.
I would cut off maybe not my foot.
No, you said your whole foot, man. You would
Yeah.
cut off a couple toes, probably. I would not cut off my foot for Miles Garrett. Yeah, I'm keeping my foot, dog. Miles Garrett, you stay in Cleveland, bro. Or are you doing that? No, okay. Serious question.
I would cut off my ear for sure.
You're crazy, bro. I would not cut off my ear for Miles Garrett.
I still have the hole, so I can still hear things. It
You're
wouldn't
just...
be funneled. You know?
But then you
And
can't like hang nothing over your ears. Like
well, Donald Trump
yeah.
got shot in the ear, and it's still there somehow.
Well,
So
but he actually has the ear. He doesn't have like nothing there.
I could 3D print an ear.
Okay, well now if we're getting technical like that, you might be onto something. We
You
might
know what
be.
I'm saying? I'm just saying if it ups the ante, two firsts in an ear.
I would
That's
watch
good.
you get your ear cut off to go get Miles Garrett. I'm on board with that.
Yeah. The
I
foot
wouldn't
I
do
would
it.
do, but it had to be like a surgically removed, like
Nah,
from a doctor type thing.
they ain't doing no foot, bro. I ain't
But
walking
ear,
around like
I
that.
would I would do the ear myself.
Easy. You couldn't even like plant anymore. Like you'd be. How would you even walk?
I would walk the same way as Darius Smith runs.
That's crazy. Hey, Darius Smith about to be a lion, bro. You're gonna have to go on Woodward heavyweights. Be like, hey, Darius Smith is a lion. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Trey Hendrickson's would be a lion.
I hope so. It'd be amazing. So do you think like is there a scenario where they don't get anybody? Because I think it's they will
No,
trade
they're
for
getting
somebody.
somebody. So they know what's up.
Someone asked me, do I feel like the ceiling? Can the Lions still win the Super Bowl without Hutchinson? Let's say the Lions make a trade. It's not one of those Hendrickson types. It's like
Barnacle Boy
yeah, it's like Barnacle Boy.
or Robin.
They go to Barnacle Boy. There's still a Super Bowl with potential or no? Like that's because I saw that question come up and I was a little
It
surprised.
depends.
Honestly,
It
seeing
depends
it.
who it is, right? Like I mean, like I guess like I'd have to.
Okay, but here's my thing. Here's what I was like saying to you, and
Mhm,
it's different because Hutchinson was going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Like this is the best
mhm.
defensive player I think in football.
I,
So
I want to cry right now.
it's hard, bro. It's hard to compare anything, and he'll come back. He'll be awesome. Other teams have big time injuries,
Hmm.
like not this big, sure, but like they have big time injuries, and they find a way. I think we're gonna find a way, man. I think this is the test of like how good we really are. You know what I mean? Like in some way, like obviously it's not us at our best, but it's like if we're a Super Bowl team coming in the year, and then you tell me, hey, you lose Hutchinson, and then you have to adjust off it, and you lost Davenport, which stinks, but you're gonna have to adjust off it. I'd be like that team could still win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I I think this is just how it goes. Like most of the teams that go far into the playoffs are healthy, but you're not gonna be completely healthy. Like we saw, like I said, the Vikings didn't come into this year thinking probably McCarthy was gonna start, but they also didn't think McCarthy was gonna be out for the year. And here they are at 5-0. Like they didn't have an option. Like McCarthy, Sam Darnold had to hit. They had no other backup plan. It's like this guy better work.
I think Donald was gonna be the starter regardless.
I think so too, but I
And
also think you had a backstop if he didn't work. You know what I mean? Like they have no other choice. If Darnold's trash, he's trash. It's who they are.
I won't admit to myself that they won't or can't. I mean, I have already, but like it's I had to like choke it out. They'll be good, and they can make maybe even an NFC Conference Championship, maybe even the Super
Wow.
Bowl. I just don't know that. I don't know, man. I was just looking at the old Super Bowl teams, and they've all had. guys that can get after it on the defensive end, more specifically
Okay,
in the
but
pass rush. And
Kansas City
if Chris
has
Jones,
had
George
Chris Jones.
Karlaftis, Frank Clark.
Okay, but you talk about it's like okay, but we can go get a Frank Clark or George Karlaftis, and like we can replace that. But to me,
Chris
that's
Jones.
like, but think about this though. You're paying like let's you're not paying Lee McNeil Chris Jones money, but you're paying him. I think he's better than Christian Wilkins, but you're paying him like
Yeah, I think better than Christian
one of
Wilkins.
the three best defensive tackles in football, basically. That's what you're saying. And I think when you have that with DJ Reader, like you're fine. I think you should be able to make that work. I feel like if you can't make that work, I don't know. It's not that if you can't make that work. I think that they will make that work. Like they'll be okay. It's a crap loss, but I think it'll be okay. Like every team has a weakness. I feel like going in. Honestly, before the Hudson injury, I don't think we had a weakness. Like our only weakness was like just like how fast is Terran come along. I thought he was coming along. Like Carlton last week played awesome when he was out there.
He was
Our
amazing.
quarterback, we have maybe the best safety duo in football. Our linebackers are really strong all of a sudden, even without Barnes. Our interior defensive line is, I think, the best in football. Like I think that's easily debatable. And then we could do everything on offense. Like I didn't think we really had a weakness until that's why we smoked Dallas. I get New Orleans did it too, but I thought it was on the table that we didn't lose again this year. I thought that was on the table.
I love Lee McNeil. I can't comp him to Chris Jones. I can't.
No, you can't. But did Chris Jones have DJ Reader next to him? Or did Chris Jones had Noddy next to him, who was kind of trash?
I think George Karlaftis is really good.
Okay, now I'll give you Karlaftis, but
And Mike
George
Daniel.
Karlaftis is legit. He's legit. They're solid. They're solid pieces. But if the Lions make a trade with Levi and Pascal, they can get to, I think, a capable level there. Also, with how much Aaron Glenn blitzes, because he does.
Yeah, if
he's
you get a
so much
Darius Smith, if you get that Robin type, yeah. I mean, you're just talking me into it. That's what you're doing.
I wanted to hear where you're at, and it sounds like you don't have the same confidence level that I do. That I think they're going to be perfectly fine.
I definitely want to see like this weekend. I think this weekend's like a perfect test too because you get a playoff caliber team that's operating, pretty efficiently on offense as well. So,
and the thing is like Minnesota's got awesome offensive tackle play. So
going into it blindly, I would have said yes, 100%. But then I go when I look at freaking because you know why too? Because Kirby and because of Brian Branch. That was the answer honestly. But then I looked at the past Super Bowl champions and I noticed that common trait about the pass rushers. They came in droves and they had names. And
so who is Tampa Bay?
If Lee McNeil takes that step, then I guess sure. What'd you say?
So Tampa Bay, like it was what Shaq Barrett was their
Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Vita Vea, and Dominican Sue in the middle.
I just feel like the Lions have that. I think they have that if they go make a trade for. I think if they make a trade for a Zadarius Smith type, I think they have that.
I don't know.
They're very least very similar because I think your interior defensive line hangs with all those teams. Recent memory to me because you have Chris Jones and Lee McNeil's not Chris Jones, but Lee McNeil and DJ Reader to me is arguably better than Nadati, who was next to Chris Jones. I think that duo is arguably better than what they had with their two.
I think it'd pan out that way. I think we need to see that consistency out of Aleem first. I feel like we didn't see it in the Seattle game. He definitely saw it last game, and against Zach Martin too, which was huge.
Seattle, he was good. I thought he was good against Seattle. You didn't think you saw it in Seattle?
No, I thought he was kind of disappointing against Seattle, to be honest with you.
Really? Okay. I heard that he thought that. Dan Campbell said he thought that. I thought he was good against Seattle. But also, Seattle's were backup offensive linemen, so it was hard because it was like this. He should be good here.
Yeah.
So
this is the list I made when I determined that too, by the way. So Chris Jones, and this is like throughout the years too, not just like last year's Super Bowl team, but George Karlaftis, Frank Clark, we went over that one.
Yeah.
The Rams, Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Leonard Floyd. I could see we have a Leonard Floyd or cooking up a Leonard Floyd, but they also had Aaron Donald, Von Miller. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jason Pierre-Paul, Dominican Sue, William Golston, Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett, and then the rest of the cast they had surrounding, which I think we have a strong cast surrounding them. Trey Flowers, Chandler Jones, Kyle Van Noy, Chris Long for the Patriots, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Chris Long, Barnett for the Eagles.
Is that when they won it?
Yeah, and I think honestly that's probably like the closest we come, right? Like with Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, there's your DJ Reader, and Aleem,
Mm-hmm.
Weezy to Chris Long.
But I
Um,
feel like, just like
well,
the other part of that too is my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was say I didn't even notice it. Lions also have the third lowest pass rating in a lot of football. Like I feel like they're second, like you said with Kirby and Branch. Like they're getting a ton of like the only thing they were ever missing with Aaron Glenn, I feel like in the last couple of recent memory was just guys that would take the football away on their own. Like they've always with Aaron Glenn, they've always been pretty low in completion percentage allowed, and they're that again. And they've given up big plays, which they've really limited. Like I mean, thinking about who we've played, those teams haven't like the Rams did not get big play, and they were more healthy than they are now when they played. They didn't get the big
Yeah.
plays against us like they did last year in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Like their pass defense is one of the best in football right now. They're getting tested more going forward, but they also played Dak better than any team has to this point. Like Dak hasn't looked like that. He's had
Yeah.
not great games, but he hasn't looked like that. So their
Yeah.
pass defense is, but and I would say that most of those teams, our offense is better than most of those teams you've listed. Like it's very capable of being much better than. I mean, they're first in points now in the league, but you could make the case we have the best offense in football.
We do have the best offense in football. There's no weakness on this offense from the
That's what I'm
line
saying.
to
Before
your
the Hutch injury,
back
there was no weakness on the team.
to your wide receivers to your tight end to your quarterback to your play caller. There's not a weakness on this offense. But again, look at the Super Bowl champions. I just noticed they had that. Even when you look at a team that had no business being in the Super Bowl, in the Giants, you look at what
Or the
carried them. I'm
Bengals.
talking about when they beat, the Bengals. That was actually
What were
sick.
the Bengals when they got there?
DJ Reader, Trey
Okay,
Hendrickson.
Henderson.
I have to look at the roster to be honest with you.
We're
But I'm just talking about.
very
I looked strictly champions to be honest with you.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, the Giants, like I said earlier, with Justin Tuck, Chris Canty, Jason Pierre-Paul again, Michael
Okay, but
Strahan.
let me ask you this: do you think Aleem McNeil's a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL?
I think he's a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL.
Yeah. Do you think you said you think he is, or do you?
Number 1, Chris
Put Chris
Jones.
Jones. I think he's
Sexton
debatable
Jackson,
with everybody else.
Qu-
I put Barmore up there if he was healthy.
Quinn
Fortunately,
Williams,
Quinn
Derek
Williams.
Brown,
Okay.
Jeff Simmons,
Jeffrey Simmons. Okay. So you
Jalen
think he's
Carter.
in, you don't think he's in that conversation? Jalen Carter's a dog, bro. Hey, Jalen Carter gets hate for like no reason. I every time I see him, like, what are you guys talking about, bro?
Lions
Jalen
fans
Carter's a
hate him
miss.
because other Lions fans wanted him. That's why they don't like him.
Oh, okay. Like Jalen Carter was definitely not a miss. That guy is awesome.
Yeah, he's not a Dan Campbell guy, so he could just never be.
He's a dog, bro. He's
Yeah.
a dog, dude.
Um.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, conversation.
top 10, safely top 10,
Yeah,
maybe arguably top 5.
Matabuke,
Yeah, Metabike's. I would put him in there. Yep.
he's
So
top 10.
safely top 10. Are you okay? And then DJ Reader's a nose tackle. Is he top 5 as a nose tackle?
Absolutely, he's top 3, top 5.
Now, would you say this Lions coverage unit is top 5 in the NFL? Take the pass rush out of it. You're just talking coverage personnel. Is it top 5 in football? I
Safeties
put the
included.
Jets. Yeah, safety's included. Coverage unit. Linebackers included. I put the Jets up there.
I just think we're in a top 10 conversation. Top 5. I'd have to
I think we're easily top 5.
top 5, bro. These,
I think easily.
come on.
I mean, how many teams are like well round like they're okay? Denver. I put Denver up there. Now Denver has Sertan hurt.
Denver's
Like there's
in.
teams with better number ones, but like that have a legitimate 1, 2, 3. I think Terran's getting there, and then big time safety. Like I think we're one of the most well rounded. We're like right up there with to me the Jets. We're right behind the Jets. I think you can make the case. I mean, Kansas City. They're kind of
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
Even Baltimore is not that good
Atlanta,
this season.
I put there too now with Bates and the kid they got. Not the kid. He's not a kid
Yeah,
at all.
and then they got they have one really good corner, and then number 2's very shake. They were rotating with like Jeff Okuda and guys like that this
San
season.
Francisco,
This is okay. Yeah, they're injured, but Mustafa had a
Baltimore
couple.
Ravens for damn sure.
But Baltimore has been very. They haven't been that statistically, but I'm with you. Like they are kind of in a similar situation, right? They got Nate Wiggins, R. Arnold, and then opposite is Marlon Humphrey, our Carlton Davis,
Hamilton, Marcus
back
Williams.
in Kyle R. Brian Branch, and then we have Kirby Joseph,
Um,
and hopefully Iffy soon. We'll have the
Yeah, honestly, the only secondaries I'd say over us, if it's 49ers, Browns, Ravens,
Browns, yeah, I like
Jets,
Browns. Browns safety ain't room any better than ours though. Browns safety room ain't even
Chiefs and
Chiefs.
Seahawks. Maybe that's it.
Kind of Chiefs. Yeah, I can see Seattle. I can see Seattle. I'm with Seattle. So we're top five. I think we're very easily top
Yeah,
five.
top five, top
No
seven,
discussion. So we have
top 10 for sure.
top 10 interior defensive line, easily. Maybe top five if you put them together. I think maybe the best. Definitely top five coverage unit, arguably. Especially when you consider the linebacker play, it's really solid. You put Kansas City in there if you consider linebackers for sure. Even if we're just going
If
back
they
in.
never got, yeah, put them in there. Yeah,
If we're just going back in, we're
Trent
conversation for
McDuffie.
top five. Yeah, Trent McDuffie's a dog. It's Tennessee, probably conversation. Well, Tennessee, that's the thing. Tennessee's starting Brownlee now. I like Brownlee, but
You
it's
know,
it's they've been, with Brownlee, it's been shaky. So like, and then you go to the offense, you're like, yeah, but they also maybe have the best offense in the NFL. Like that gets it done to me. That should be able to get it done. Like if you look at Kansas City when they won the Super Bowl, right? Like you point out, they had a lot of pressure pieces, but they were pretty bad outside of that defensively. Like they could get pressure. Everything else they didn't really do that well. I just think and that was I don't know what year that was. That was one of the years they won it, of course. Like I think we're more well rounded than most Super Bowl teams, which is
I
why I think
think
it's
they're
very
very
solid
well
play.
rounded. I just want to be. I don't want to speak on anything yet. I guess let me see. Let me see Aleem, and he should dominate this matchup. By the way, too. That is like the one question mark on this Vikings team offensively is the interior offensive line,
Yeah,
and maybe no Aaron Jones when healthy is a beast. Um,
yeah, he won't play this week, I don't think.
I don't think so either. That's why I think that's why I traded for what's his name. I think there's something like
Yeah,
wrong.
the can makers. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Um, if Aleem dominates these next 2 weeks, I'll be on board.
Okay, that's fair. I think it's fair. See what it looks like.
Yeah. Who do we have? Who do we have after the Vikings?
I don't even know. Houston?
Get the heck out of here already.
Is that right? I feel like
Titans.
Houston. Oh, is it Titans? Oh, okay.
Woo.
See, at
Good
very
grief.
worst, we're gonna be 5-2.
Yeah.
We're gonna be 5-2, bro. But I'm not worried about Minnesota honestly at all, bro. I think we're gonna smoke it,
Yeah, I
Minnesota.
think yeah. Even with that, I mean, I know it sounds disrespectful to Hutch, I think it was, but like, yeah, I think this is a very, very winnable
Bro,
game.
Minnesota has not played from behind at all this year. At
And like,
all.
have they faced? I guess maybe the 49ers you throw in there.
They faced Houston. They beat Houston. They beat Houston up too. They beat them 34-7.
Yo, Houston
They've
without
smoked some good
Joe
teams. I'll
Mixon,
give them it.
and I don't think they're that great at running the football to begin with.
No, Aaron Jones was a lot of that. They've kind of fallen off without Jones. They don't. That's why, like you said, they traded for somebody because they don't really have a run game when Aaron Jones ain't there. My thing is, I think we match up really well against a Minnesota team based on
I
what I saw
agree.
last year, and that's I think the like Minnesota's interior pass rush doesn't really scare me. It's just that Harrison Phillips has been really good against the run, so the run game's always been kind of shaky against them. But they don't really bring a lot of interior rush, which is what Green Bay usually gives us a problem with. I really like our tackles against their edge. Jonathan, like that's where they've invested. I like our tackles in that spot. You know what I mean? So like I feel like we match up well. And what they do schematically, Ben Johnson had an answer for it both times last year. I think we'll be fine against Minnesota. I'm not really concerned about Minnesota.
Um, it's gonna be a good game, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm not like, man. I
So
hope
what?
we
We
can
go out
beat
there and
them.
beat Minnesota? Like we're winning the Super Bowl, dog. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we still over 100 yards rushing on them. Yeah, we clinched the division. Yeah, I think the ultimate weapon, and we're gonna break this down tomorrow too on a
Yes, preview
preview.
show
Yeah, so make sure you guys tap in on LNU for that one.
like this.
I'll just give a little sneak preview before we dip out here. The run
Okay.
game for us is, I think, that's the ultimate weapon. And it sets everything up. Jameson Williams, I think, proved it last week that like, do not let that run game get going because if you got to stack
Oh my
that box,
goodness.
that kid's gonna go crazy on you. There's no one in the league that keep up with him. He is officially reached that tier for me where it's like I don't want to call him Tyreek because Tyreek's like one of the best maybe ever now. Does that sound crazy to say?
Yeah, not
But
this year, but yeah, I know he
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. But he's got that speed where it's like,
Mm,
what,
insane.
what are you gonna do at this point? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like on top of Jared Goff's play action, like it's just like
Hey, Tim
that
Patrick,
run
bro.
game opens up so much. It's beautiful. It's truly
Uh huh.
beautiful. It's one of the beautiful things about football is when everyone's working in unison and like certain things are setting other things up. It's like the ultimate team sport, and I think that run game for this offense can bloom anything, everything.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. All right. Well, say hey, man. Before we get out of here, chat. Appreciate all the names. You guys got me something to look at. Definitely want to look at Henderson. I looked at Landry a little bit. I'm not as big on that one, but what was the other name that we saw that we were? Um,
Mm,
I saw Sam Hubbard. There was another one though.
Aziz Aziz Ojulari. Did you watch a lot of him or no?
I watched the Ojulari. Yeah.
Um, Obviously
Uh,
Uche. I saw Jamin Davis in our chat earlier.
Jamin
Jamin
Davis is.
Davis, but I don't think he's getting moved. He's with the Commanders. They're 4-2 right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I don't think Jamin Davis fixes what our problem is, which is pass rush.
yeah,
Like Jamin Davis was never really that in college. He was kind of like a fast pursuit guy. He'd play the run. He was super long. He'd fit in where Derek Barnes left off. I think he's one of the guys that could do that measurably wise, but I don't think he'd fix our problem.
maybe make you watch Haason Reddick some more because
Yeah, I do need to watch more Haason Reddick. That's fair because I'm not big on Reddick, but I need to watch more because it's very possible that they happen. Keon White's not happening, Keith, though. But I like that. I like you trying to speak it into existence.
yeah, Travon Walker. I mean, you don't have to watch him, but like that's the one that fix is like
I
not
should watch
realistic
him.
and would be
That's
fucking awesome.
insane. That's insane. And then Joe Tryon. I've watched him. Joe Tryon. I like Joe. I think he's smart. I don't think he's a big type pass rusher. I think he's a smart player though.
I'm gonna watch some
But
Carl Granderson as well. I think that
there you go.
be
That's the
them.
one. Carl Granderson's worth
Mhm.
looking at.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. You know what? And I'll
Perfect, man.
rewatch Lee McNeil.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Hey, he did work against Dallas. He went to work on
Yeah,
Dallas.
dude, that was crazy.
You could. You know the stat? You see that? Hey, 8 one-on-one snaps against Zach Martin. 4 of them he created pressure. That's crazy.
And it hasn't happened since like 21 or something like that. What was I gonna say about the thing too with Lee McNeil that I was trying to tell people today? I don't think I did a good job at it either, but like some people think he's not worth that money, which is kind of crazy to me because I think he got a little bit of a discount, especially if considering like what he can be, especially with Hutch back in the lineup. But like, dude, he's taken over games. The Giants game 2 years ago, the Raiders game last year. I like not just
Yeah.
no Joe Blow is taking over the games the way he took those over. You know what I'm saying? He's him. I love Lee. Not him, but he's good. Really good.
I think, and last point to that is I think it's first off it's rare because there's not a lot of good interior rushers that actually play interior on early downs. Like there's not many out there. So I think one it's rare. It's hard to find because that's why the fact that Aleem got to where he did, like he shouldn't have got there. You know what I mean? Like looking back now, the guy that I think when you look at the contract wise, like I don't know if it was worth it is Christian Barmore because you could make a case that Barmore's a better player and he's making less per year now. But I would say I think Aleem's just more unique. Like Aleem's not
He's a really good
pigeonholed.
athlete.
Yet, like because he can play where Reader plays and he can play where now he's playing, that's so important. I think now I feel like I think the Dallas game, I feel like the Dallas game meant a lot to his new deal. Like it was like you said, like he's taking over games against backups and Gio Lyman. And then he goes out there and he cooks Dallas. You're like, well, that wasn't that wasn't where they were bad. Like Zach Martin's good, best offensive lineman on the team. So I think once you do that, and then we know they can play both spots now without Pecco, it's very massive because I think they're going to need to give at times Reader a break, and they know Levi can step into Aleem's role, so Aleem will have to step over at times to give him a break. So I think that uniqueness, there's not really that around the league that plays
Yeah.
both spots.
Zach's, I agree too. Levi could start playing some more defensive end. I like
Yeah,
him.
I think so. I think those guys, yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get going. I gotta drive home still.
Oh shoot. Okay. Hey, appreciate y'all joining, man. Shout out to Easy being on here, and then we'll see you tomorrow, guys, for the preview. So tune into that, as Easy said, and we're out, man.
Smash the like.